What is more important to a football team? Is it a star player or is it a great coach? Now, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, did a clip on this surrounding the NFL.
Yeah, we did. And we should do it for all sports, really. I think this is a great debate for multiple reasons. One, the common sense answer is it's always a combination. But that might not necessarily be the case, and it's going to apply differently to every sport, and that's why I like this conversation.
Yeah.
So, to start off, if I may.
You may.
I will always lean towards coaching. And the reason for that is, like, in American sports, and that's really what I'm comfortable speaking on in this debate, I think of a few guys like in the NBA, Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich, who had great players. Please, I understand Michael Jordan was a star player with a star coach. But Greg Popovich of the Spurs also has the same. So there is a great deal of combination. But coaching will also lead to, like, the question isn't which leads to championships, it's what's more important. And I think it's always going to be coaching, because a lot of the time that's what's going to take a mediocre team and make them great, maybe just get to the playoffs, maybe take a team that won in certain sports, NFL 6 games and then they win 10. If it's the NBA and they win, they go from 20 to winning 45, that's the difference. So when you apply this all to world football, I think of Jose Mourinho on Porto, who won a Champions League. And that's a team that I don't think had any star that you'd compare to at least even his Chelsea now. No Diego Costa's on that team. No
way.
In-form Eden Hazard on that team. Courtois on that team. But and I don't have too much of a knowledge back before those kind of times. But the question I wanted to throw to you too is, like, where does, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson fit in this?
Well, I will get to Alex Ferguson in a little bit, but there is rare instances where it seems like it's not so much a combination, but it's a star player with an okay coach who kind of gets an understanding can potentially lead to success. Liverpool were very close to winning the Premier League a few seasons ago. Luis Suarez, he didn't do it on his own, but if you're looking at that team, you don't say Brendan Rodgers did a fantastic job that season. You just say Luis Suarez nearly single-handedly won them that Premier League. So there is instances like that. But then the best way to compare, like your point, I will agree that combination is the easy answer. But if you have to choose one or the other and look at the gauge of success, I think it has to be coaching, because Mourinho not just saw with Porto, but he's done it throughout his career. He did it with Inter Milan. They had star players, but they won the Champions League. They beat a very good Barcelona team. They beat a very good Bayern Munich team in the final of the Champions League because his style was unbelievable, that style of coaching that does need to have good players, but not so much the star quality when they beat Barcelona that had Messi and Ronaldinho, those guys. But the best example is Messi. Lionel Messi hasn't won a World Cup yet. Argentina haven't had a good coach in the last 5 to 10 years, I would say.
Good point.
Maradona was one of the coaches, wasn't exactly a great coach. He was a great player, but didn't fit in as a great coach, and they couldn't guide them. In the last World Cup, they were very close. But perhaps a better coach would have coached them better against Germany. Messi has won all the accolades that he can win at club level because he's had Guardiola, he's had Luis Enrique, he's had Frank Rijkaard, he's had fantastic coaches from a club level. So when you think about it, he is a perfect example to compare both of those. He's a star player, but and by the way, for those that are going to say Barcelona had a great team and Argentina didn't, you're delusional. I hate people that say this, but Argentina had a fantastic team. Yes, Di Maria was out for the final. If you're a great coach, you have to adjust to that. I just don't think maybe they might not.
Because Aguero and Tevez are nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So but I think Germany under a fantastic coach won that World Cup with a combination. That you wouldn't look at that Germany team that year and say that all the players were of a standout quality as Lionel Messi. Together, united under great coaching, they're a hard team to beat. Toni Kroos played like a world-class player that tournament. Müller played world-class. They had world-class.
Do you know what's a good example? That's a good example. Also because you look at a guy like, look who showed up in the most crucial moment of that match, and that was Mario Götze with the game-winning goal. That's not somebody you'd ever throw around being,
world-class,
at least right now, because he's still young, if I'm correct, a world-class.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot of debate over what is a star player, and I think we're really sticking to the very big names of world football: the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Suarez, the Neymars. So Joachim Low, the manager of Germany.
I don't know how to pronounce his first name. We've probably just.
It's fine. It's fine. They get the idea. The manager of Germany. It has nothing to do. His pronunciation of his name has nothing to do with the point being made. Therefore, manager of Germany was able to bring out the absolute best of all of those players in combination. I mean, look, they demolished Brazil.
Yeah.
Who was down one player.
Who didn't know how to adjust.
I know how important Neymar was, but you're telling me even with Neymar on the field, that's going to still make that much of a difference? It might. I could be wrong, but personally, from watching that game. It looked like no matter what, Germany was going to rout Brazil.
No doubt. And Brazil didn't have the best coaching decisions. They consistently played Fred.
The dad.
Do I need to bring this up again? Those are coaching
football.
decisions that could lead a team to further success. Now, the safe answer, as I mentioned, is a combination of both, which is great. But if you were to give me one or the other, if you're going to give me a Luis Suarez again on a good team, but with David Moyes as a coach, or are you going to give me a team as... I'm not saying David Moyes has always been bad. I'm just taking it from Manchester United's standpoint. I can't completely come down on a Phil Scott.
Yeah, I feel like we're being very sensitive around the topic here. It's because, again, there's such a fine line between what is a star player. That's not the conversation. It's just great coaching and a great player.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So
do you want Ronaldo or do you want Alex Ferguson?
So then if
you
you're
have
going
to
to
choose
take
one.
And then if you're in that example, if you're going to take Suarez in that team with David Moyes, or you're going to give me good players, a good quality team, like you're going to have... I'm trying to think about right now. If you're going to have a Rakitic in there with like some great players, and you're going to have Guardiola as a manager, I'm going to take Guardiola. So that's the way I've always viewed that. But other people have different perspectives, because there has been teams, rare occasions, where world-class players have led teams to unimaginable success. Diego Maradona being one of them. Still had a good team around him and a good coach. But I will reiterate this, football has changed so much since then. So much. You can't get teams like... Back then, yes, if you were I can't study that because I wasn't around that time. I can only look up and research. But I don't think you got as much Chelsea's winning the Champions League based on tactics as you did back then. Chelsea beating Bayern Munich in an unbelievable Champions League final under the coaching of Roberto Di Matteo. They had no right to win that. They were sitting mid-table, like 4th or 5th in the Premier League at that point. They had no right to win it. Great coaching can win games. So can star players, but I will take the coach every day.
Oh, I'll always take coaching.
All right.
That's an American sports perspective, at least from my opinion. But yeah, always coaching.
Great manager.
Yeah.
Don't want to keep saying coach.
What do they think, though? What do the commenters think?
I want to know what the commentators think. I'm going to gauge 200 plus comments on this.
I'm going to gauge about 200 plus comments. I also am going to predict for this comment section that we are going to get shredded for what a star player is and what a coach is and the definition of success. At no point in this clip did we ever say success means championships.
Success is a choice. Rick Pitino.